a lot to cover today. I mean, news is just crazy. So we're going to get to this rally that President Trump is having. That's first. I mean, that's just going to be a beautiful rally tonight with Kristi Noem endorsing him. Here we go. It's showtime. Ah, yes, it is. Oh, man. Already? It's Friday. Well, that happens when you have Monday off for a holiday. The week goes by a lot faster, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, but next week's like a full week, and that's like a drag. But we're here today. It's Friday morning, September 8th, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 46 years on the radio. We've got a lot to cover today. This is a great day because tonight, it's going to be later tonight, but tonight we have a Trump rally in South Dakota with Kristi Noem, and this is going to be spectacular. Spectacular. And there's so much going on against President Trump, and here he is still having rallies. You know, they got 4 indictments against him, the mugshot, all the other harassment that he's dealing with. What other politician would still be out there campaigning, grinning ear to ear? And Kristi Noem is going to endorse President Trump tonight. That's what's being reported. What politician has multiple indictments in multiple jurisdictions, a mugshot, 4 upcoming trials, and they have A-list people in the political party inviting them to their state for rallies, and then they endorse them? This is really a historic time we are in. It's unusual. It's also tragic because of what the Uniparty are doing here. This is a beautiful thing. And, you know, you have these grifters and wannabes that and Trump haters that are running in the Republican primary against him. It's pathetic. You know, their strategy, like DeSantis, you would have thought DeSantis would have backed out. Last week, at this time, the Wall Street Journal poll came out. President Trump at 59 in the Republican field, 59, and Ron DeSantis was in second place at 13. That's insane. Trump's at 59, DeSantis is at 13. DeSantis' major donors have dropped him. The Ron DeSantis super PAC has dropped Ron DeSantis. This all happened this week. And in the Ron DeSantis super PAC are now backing President Trump. Right? Ed Rollins left the DeSantis Never Back Down PAC and is behind Trump. Newt Gingrich is behind Trump, and Ron DeSanctimonious is still in the running. Why is that? It's pretty simple. Ron DeSantis has a campaign strategy based around the fantasy that Donald Trump is going to be disallowed from running. Now, obviously, you see them doing this. They're trying to keep him off ballots here, there, and all over the place. And a lot of these places, like Colorado, for example, we need all these places. We're in primary time. This isn't the general election. So these blue states where they're trying to take Trump off the ballot in these blue states, we need those for the primary. We may not get them in the general, but in the primary, we need them so that President Trump has enough delegates at the RNC convention to get the nomination. So Ron DeSantis's entire campaign strategy right now against President Trump for the nomination is based on deception. And I have a story I may or may not get to today. We'll see. But Ron DeSantis just lost to Disney again. Bob Iger at Walt Disney's corporate headquarters just had another victory against Ron DeSantis. But Ron DeSantis, he's got this entire campaign. He's got Paul Ryan whispering in his ear, Jeb Bush whispering in his ear, Karl Rove whispering in his ear, telling him all these ridiculous things, and Ron DeSantis is out there humiliating himself. While the great Kristi Noem is going to endorse him tonight. At least that's what's being reported. And I want to play a soundbite here. I only have one soundbite today, not too much audio. I got some, I'm just not sure I'm going to play it on the show over the next 3 hours. But I want to play this one. Kristi Noem was on Newsmax TV yesterday, and they asked her, if Trump were to ask you to be his running mate, what would you say? That was the question. Here's Kristi Noem.
So if you were asked, you would consider it, at least?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would in a heartbeat, just because, you respect the position and the person who asks you to do something, and then see if you really believe that you could make a difference. President Trump needs a strong partner if he's going to take back the White House. He's going to need somebody who knows what it's like to run a business, to be an employee, earn a paycheck, but also having a wife, mom, and a grandma isn't bad either. And I think that kind of perspective would weigh in very well on a lot of policy decisions.
If we can, let's shift.
Okay, wow. I mean, yeah, it's hard to think of Kristi Noem as a grandma. Did you guys like to think of her as a grandma? Most guys probably don't. But asked if Donald Trump asked her to be his running mate, would she say yes? She said, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And, Kristi Noem has a lot of qualities that Trump's looking for in a running mate. But the biggest thing that I believe he's looking for, I could be wrong, but I think the number one quality, he's looking for a lot of things, but the number one quality that he's looking for that Kristi Noem has is loyalty. Loyalty. Yes, very much so. And we need a vice president who is loyal. Not a Ron DeSanctimonious type, okay, who we thought was loyal, but turned out to be a Benedict Arnold. So this is an exciting day. Wouldn't it be beautiful if at the South Dakota rally, not only did Kristi Noem endorse President Trump, but he asked her to be his running mate? That'd be nuts. That would just flip out everything. I know a lot of people say, oh, that'll never happen. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's unlikely. But President Trump likes to control the news cycle and do things in a different way. I think that would be amazing. It'd be very exciting. But I'll definitely be watching that rally tonight. Now, today is Friday, and Friday on the Steve Kane Show means open phones. But we don't like to call it open phones or Open Phone Friday because that was Rush Limbaugh's thing. So what we call Open Phone Friday is Open MAGA Mike Friday. That's right. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you can call in about any and everything you have on your mind. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up on the program, okay? So, yeah, I know. Remember what Rush said. This is the day we turn the show over to rank amateurs. Well, yeah, I guess so. But we have some pretty good callers out there who have a pretty good nose for news and what's interesting and fascinating to people. So our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're calling from. 888-465-2631. We'll get to the calls after the break. But I do, even though it's Open MAGA Mike Friday, I very much want to hear your thoughts on Kristi Noem being the running mate of President Trump. I think that's a perfect choice. What do you all think? I do. I mean, I don't know any MAGA people that have a negative thing to say about her. There's other great people, but she's one that I think all MAGA people like. There's no controversies that I know of in the MAGA movement with Kristi Noem. 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Oh, man, what do you guys think about Kristi Noem? Think that's a good pick? I think it's a good pick. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, how old is Kristi Noem? Let's see. Let me look her up. I'm not sure how old she is. She is 51. Yeah. That's amazing. She'll have a birthday in November. She'll be 52 in November. That's young for a vice president, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're probably starting to do some major scandal searching on her. They don't like her. They like to go after her on something to do with her daughter and some state license she was getting. I don't know. Very mild thing. Let's see, where are we? She's kind of got that. She's kind of got that Sarah Palin accent. Is that how everyone in South Dakota talks? I don't know. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene would be great, but I like Marjorie Taylor Greene. We got to have her in the House. We don't have a large enough majority in the House to lose. She's such a powerhouse in the Congress. I don't think it's a good idea to lose someone who's such a powerhouse in the Congress, in my opinion. But you know what they say about opinions, right? Mm-hmm. You betcha. The most surprising thing about Sarah Palin is that accent. I don't think people knew people in Alaska had an accent like that. I did not know. Okay, here we go.
222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome one and all. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold. Stand by. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1, and we're asking you about Kristi Noem. But again, it is open phones today, open Mega Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind's fair game on Friday's show. But I do want to hear your thoughts on Kristi Noem. Now, I want to tell you guys about the incredible special going on the My Pillow towel sets. I mean, these are absolutely amazing. The My Pillow towels are 50% off. They are $39.99. It's a 6-piece towel set. They have some new colors that are available in the My Pillow towels. And with our promo code KANE, of course, K-A-N-E, they're $39.99. I have 2 sets of these towels. They are spectacular. And I've discovered a new use for them. That's cleaning up my messes. I was talking a couple weeks ago. I had a huge, tall cup of coffee, and I spilled it in the hallway outside our guest bathroom at my house, and I grabbed the white, and I wasn't thinking, it was a big mess. I grabbed our white My Pillow towel and threw it down over the mess. It was a complete, huge, large cup of coffee, and the My Pillow towel soaked it all up. And I picked up the towel, and none of the coffee was dripping off of it. It absorbed it, and not only absorbed all the coffee, the entire cup, by the way, but it held it in the towel. And after I cleaned it up, I was like, oh my goodness, my wife's going to kill me because it's coffee, it had creamer in it, and the white towel was now like a tan. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I washed it and dried it. All of it came out, and it looks like the day we got it. These My Pillow towels are amazing. So go to mypillow.com, order yours. Now remember, you can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones I'm talking about, but the My Pillow towel set, just $39.99. That's 50% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E at mypillow.com, or order over the phone at 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Oh boy, it's going to be one of those days. Once, twice. All right, we'll give up on you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana, Mark.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
You know, it was 3 o'clock when I saw your thumbnail with Kristi Noem, and I was so excited, the goosebumps. I made my coffee an hour early waiting for your show. But Kristi Noem is a tough lady because her father died and the farm and ranch business was dumped on her shoulders. So
That's right.
she is an exciting woman, and she'd be the perfect match.
Well, Kristi Noem, she's what Hillary Clinton and Pelosi and all these liberal women pretend to be, feminist icons and role models, when all of them are married into wealth and connections and get where they are on the backs of men who are greater than them, or they buy the way in. Kristi Noem is a lot like Sarah Palin. Her father died when she was young. She made her own way, and she's not one of these Ivy League connected people like Hillary or Pelosi who has things way back. And that's a real feminist icon to me. That's the glass ceiling. You're not running because your husband was president and you let him have sex with anything that moved and covered up for him so you could run one day. She's actually a real role model, Kristi Noem, I think.
I watched an hour interview a while back, and when her father died, there were so many taxes that she had to take care of that she didn't know what she's doing, but she kept pressing on like Donald Trump.
Yeah, and when her father died, she didn't finish college when her father died. And by the way, she didn't go to one of those Ivy Leagues where they brainwash you, And I saw when David Hogg was going to, where did he go, Harvard or Yale? Does it matter? They're both the same, aren't they? And I saw him on an interview, and he said he was taking a class, the history of right-wing movements in America. That's when they brainwash you to think we're Nazis, if we're concerned. She went to the State University, didn't finish, and then she went back later and finished. She's made her own. She's a great role model for girls, women, and everybody. Kristi Noem.
People don't realize that ranchers and farmers are one of the most brilliant people to keep their heads above water.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is still true. When I was a kid, my father was a firefighter, and which is, of course, is a very dangerous job. And this is when I was a kid. When my father was a firefighter, I was shocked to learn that firefighters and police officers was not the most deadly profession. It was farm workers. More farm workers. I don't know if that's true still today, but back then, this was 70s and the 80s. You were more likely to be killed on the job as a farm worker than a police officer or a firefighter, at least back then. That may not be true today. I don't know, but I know it was then. And it's hard work, it's dangerous work, and farming. People that have farms and ranches, it's a family business, and people like that have an understanding of the American struggles during this Biden inflation suffering that we can't take any more of Bidenomics.
Junior high school, I shoveled grain into an auger on 100-degree days and still had to work.
Oh my goodness, shoveling grain. All right, man, thanks for the call, Montana Mark. They move slow in Montana. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, I'm Barbara from Hawaii.
Barbara in Hawaii. How goes it?
Yes, well, it's dark here. I guess it's dark in Florida still, right?
It is dark. Yeah, the sun has not come up yet, but it will soon.
Well, I saw you driving to work. So.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, to the vice president, I absolutely would like that. I have seen a couple of speeches or heard a couple of from Noem, and absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah.
He was with both feet on the ground, and yeah.
And not only that, she's got a lot of and she's also incredibly good looking. So far as politicians go, she's like a supermodel, and that's a positive, by the way. You look at, I wonder why it is all the Republican women are hot and all the Democrat women look like Dianne Feinstein and Hillary Clinton. Why are our women better looking than their women? I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe they have too much dark sides.
Well, I think ugly women are just miserable and they become man-haters because they're so unattractive, and they tend to lean towards the Democrat Party.
Yeah. So I made a comment in the chat room once, but I don't know if I got any response to it.
Mm-hmm.
My idea first for vice president was a businessman.
Uh-huh.
Politicians haven't gotten as far.
Well, see, this vice president pick, whoever Trump picks as the running mate, this is the most important vice presidential pick in the history of the Republican Party, because President Trump only has one term left ahead of him. His second term will be his last term. So whoever his vice president is will be the second MAGA president and will walk into the Republican nomination in 2028. So we've got to have this pick is so important.
Noem also is a businesswoman.
That's right.
You know, so I think I would really like that.
Yeah.
Would stand 100% behind it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I have another question. I just canceled a donation, and I wanted to ask you, which is a safe site to donate to Trump?
That's a good question. I would go to Trump's Truth Social account, and he has a link there to his website. Go to and click that in his profile. That's what I would do. Yeah, we want all the money to go to Trump, no one else. We don't, yeah, that's exactly right. Listen, I got to run for the break, so go to Trump's Truth Social account, and he has a link in his description.
We'll do that. Have a great night.
All right. She's in Hawaii, so it's nighttime there. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you got to consider. It's not just the vice presidency. We're talking about the second MAGA president. You know, you got to factor that in to everything when it comes to this. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So when you factor that in, okay. Got to look up a couple of things here. Hold on, guys. My iPad, after all these years, is finally starting to give out. I don't want to get a new one. The only time I use my iPad is when I'm on the air. I don't use my iPad at home ever. I don't use it ever except when I'm in this studio. So I'm trying to put off buying a new one. Is her accent Norwegian or a South Dakota accent? Do you guys know? Is her accent a Norwegian accent or a South Dakota accent? Kristi Noem. Good question, huh? That's a South Dakota accent? I don't know if I haven't known anyone from South Dakota. It's a good question. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Hold on.
Now, you don't just help with these. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting.
Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe.
Laporta Contracting was voted one of the best general contractor and best roofers in South Florida. He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and will never sell you a roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing,
We'll be back shortly, guys.
Call Tom Laporta right now. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602.
Well, thank you, Mary J.
Online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hi, it's Scott Simmons from Florida.
It's the last commercial.
Election supervisors from across the state want to remind you need to renew your vote by mail preferences if you plan to cast a ballot that way. The Food Bank plans an Empty Bowls fundraiser in Palm Beach Gardens this month, and writer Janice Fontaine brings you up to date on country music performances by Billy Currington and others. Read these and other stories in Florida Weekly, available throughout Palm Beach County. Available online at floridaweekly.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. It is Friday morning already, Open MAGA Mike Friday. We're talking, though, about Kristi Noem. You know, the thing about Kristi Noem, you got to remember, whoever Trump's vice president is going to be the second MAGA president in 2028. So we got to pick carefully, right? Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Cynthia from Martin County.
Hey, Cynthia.
One thing real quick. I'm going to send you an email to invite you to be our head speaker
Oh,
at an event that we're having, okay?
cool.
The other thing is, yes, it is. I need your email. I'll have to get that from you. But
Go if you can go to my Twitter, you know, and stuff like that. You can DM me. I'll don't do it on Instagram. If you DM me on Twitter, I'll be sure to get it.
okie dokie. So here's what I want to say. Everybody knows about the Uniparty. So today, the Presidential Library got together and put out a statement about democracy. All of them, how we all should come together and be one and all. And here's, I just want to go through part of it. The Ronald Reagan Library, did you know that the Murdochs sit on the board?
Yes.
That the CEO of the Washington Post sits on the board? That Peggy Noonan sits on the board?
Mm-hmm.
You want an example of the Uniparty? Everybody needs to go and do research.
And by the way, those people on the board hated Ronald Reagan like the plague. They wanted to impeach Ronald Reagan when he stood up to Gorbachev. Now they're on the board of the Reagan Library in California. It's disgusting.
So the presidential libraries of Obama, Bush, Clinton, Reagan, and more warn about the state of the U.S. democracy in the first ever joint statement. That's what they did today, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Together.
And what this is, and I'm not going to read it, but I'll just tell you, it's let's bash let's bash Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Said, it goes into this whole thing. We are rooted in a rule of law where the protection of the rights of the people is paramount. At the same time, we live among our fellow citizens, underscoring the importance of compassion, tolerance, pluralism, and respect for others. I mean, it goes on and on, all this garbage. And the bottom line is, this is a hit piece against Trump.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. Let me tell you, if they are able to keep him from getting the nomination, I will not be voting for any of these Republicans. I won't. And I know I'm not alone. It will be the biggest Democrat victory in history. The Republican Party will lose everything because I'm not alone in that, I don't think. And what difference does it make if you got these people? And so far as this Reagan library, I'm so disgusted by President Bush, both of them, right, because the other one was elected. But George W. is the only one we got left. He never stands up for Trump. He should be by Trump's side at these indictments, at these hearings. If Ronald Reagan were still with us, Ronald Reagan said, if you're with me 80% of the time, you're in the Big Ten of the Republican Party. I think Ronald Reagan would be a MAGA, and I think he would stand up for this injustice that's going on against Donald Trump. And George W. Bush is a disgusting person, and I'm just sick that I supported him, advocated for him, and voted for him.
I'm sicker than you because I co-chaired his campaign.
Yeah.
So I'll one up me on that.
Let me tell you guys. You finish. You finish.
Okay, I just want to add one more person. I know everybody loves him so much. Paul Ryan is also.
Oh yes.
Reagan law.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? Is Mitt Romney on that board too?
No, but I put him on another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should look on the, I don't know, on the Obama presidential library. Maybe he's on that board.
Yeah, exactly. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. Oh, man. All right. I mean, it's really upsetting, isn't it? There used to be a brotherhood with these ex-presidents. Yeah, I knew we were in trouble when George W. Bush described Bill Clinton as his brother from another mother. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You think about how George W. Bush is such close personal friends with Bill Clinton, but he won't even acknowledge Donald Trump. Forget about the fact that these guys were presidents. You guys out there, what would your wife say if you were hanging out with a man that was accused of multiple rapes, sexual assault, and had sex with women at work openly, like he did? What would your wife say about that? Would she let them come over to the house for dinner? I remember Barack Obama got in big trouble once with Michelle. Do you remember this? You'll remember when I bring it up to you. Obama, in secret, while he was president, in secret, went golfing with Tiger Woods. It was completely in secret. No one knew. And one of the caddies took a picture and posted it on social media, and then everyone found out about it. And, yeah. And Barack Obama didn't want Michelle to know he was golfing with Tiger Woods because it wasn't that long after all those sex scandals with Tiger Woods. You understand what I mean? Women wives do not want their husbands hanging out with people like Bill Clinton. But George W. Bush does, and his wife likes to hang out with them too. That tells you what kind of people these are. They're sleaze. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You're right about this, and what he's hoping, what DeSantis is hoping for, is that a number of these places like Colorado and like Michigan and stuff will kick Trump off the Republican.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Therefore, he can swoop in there and get those delegates.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Which is not going to work, but that's what he's hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that comes from the Jeb Bush, a way of thinking about things. I'm the tortoise and he's the hare, and I'll catch up, that type of thing. But yeah, I'm looking at. You're right about her. You're right about Kristi Noem. Whoever it is that's going to be this vice president. It could be Kristi. It could be, heck, it could even be Greg Abbott.
Yep.
But whoever it is going to be the second MAGA president.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Mike, I appreciate the call. I appreciate the call. Did I hear an echo in Mike's call? Now, just going through this is just Kristi Noem's bio. The reason we're talking about Kristi Noem are two reasons. One, she is, there's a Trump rally tonight in South Dakota, and it's being reported that Kristi Noem is expected to endorse President Trump tonight. And she was on Newsmax yesterday, and they asked Kristi Noem, if President Trump asked you to be vice president, what would you say?
So if you were asked, you would consider it, at least.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would in a heartbeat, just because, you respect the position and the person who asks you to do something, and then see if you really believe that you could make a difference. President Trump needs a strong partner if he's going to take back the White House. He's going to need somebody who knows what it's like to run a business, to be an employee, earn a paycheck, but also having a wife, mom, and a grandma isn't bad either. And I think that kind of perspective would weigh in very well on a lot of policy decisions.
Well, I mean, pretty good, huh? She said, in a heartbeat. And this is just from her Wikipedia, okay? I know the liberals run Wikipedia, but listen to this. Kristi Noem's father was killed in a farm machinery accident in 1994. She was attending Northern State University from 90 to 94, but did not finish. Her daughter, Cassidy, was born in April of 94, so Kristi Noem left college early to run the family farm after her father's deadly farm machinery accident. So Kristi Noem took over the farm at 22 years old. She was 22 years old. She took over the family farm. Then she added a hunting lodge and a restaurant to the family farm property. And then she went back to school, took classes at Watertown campus of Mount Mary College and South Dakota State University, and online classes from the University of South Dakota, and completed her degree in political science in 2012 while she was serving in Congress. She sounds like a real doer. Where's the part like Hillary where she destroyed the lives of her husband's sex assault victims? This Me Too movement, all these women, this guy from the 70s show, he sounds like a real creep. But all these Me Tooers attacking him, he's not any different than Bill Clinton, and they think that Bill and Hillary Clinton are the greatest. And by the way, whatever happened to Pelosi's husband with that guy that tried to break in? And who was with Pelosi's husband during that DUI? Huh? Anyone remember that? I haven't forgotten that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Ron from Atlanta. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you take off the Bluetooth? Is it possible for you to pick up the phone?
Yeah, I'm at work. Calm down, but hold on a second.
I'm at work too.
Yeah,
There we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, good. Now, Donald Trump has just been found liable of sexual assault of kids, so should he be out of the running like Bill Clinton?
What does that mean, libel?
I'm saying you were just talking about people sexually assault.
No, what does libel mean? Accused.
What you mean? You don't know what libel means?
I'm asking you. Oh, what does libel mean? What does
libel?
What does? Oh, I know what libel means. I want to find out if you know.
So I'm saying he's penalized, right? He's being penalized for being a sexual assaulter, right?
Who did he sexual assault? Who was he found guilty of sexually assaulting? Young lady. You don't know her name, and you think. Well, everyone was young at some time.
So, I mean, that's cool, though. You're cool with someone being accused of sexually assaulting.
People accuse people of things, all types of things.
Yeah, are you cool with that? But you were just talking about Bill Clinton, right?
Well, there's a different. You know what the difference? Okay, slow down for a second. What is the difference between what you said? Donald Trump was accused of. Let me finish the question and then answer it, so people think that you have a thoughtful answer. Okay. You don't have to buzz in. This isn't Jeopardy, okay? Oh, it's no Jeopardy. No. What is in your mind, what is the difference? See, a Democrat always looking for money. What is the difference between the sex assault allegation against Donald Trump and the allegations against Bill Clinton? What is the difference?
What you mean? Has Bill Clinton been found liable?
Well, first of all, no, 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 no. The difference is the difference is. Excuse me. The difference is, Bill Clinton did it.
So did Trump.
And he wasn't. And he was not found liable. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He was found liable of defamation of character. He was found liable of defamation of character, not liable of sexual assault. And being found liable of sexual assault, even if that were true, is not being found guilty of committing sexual assault.
So I'm just saying it's cool because there's been multiple women who's accused Trump of racism.
Well, people can accuse. No, I don't think women should just be. No, I do not think women should just be going around accusing people. And in America, and certainly as a black man in America, you should respect this. People, your voice, come on.
You like that? I know.
What, are you not black?
I'm black, so I take it.
Are you not black?
I'm black.
Are you not black?
I'm an American.
Why are you embarrassed to say you're black? I'm white, you're black. Don't be ashamed of being black. Is something to be proud of.
Let me ask you one more question. Now, I seen your show earlier. You were talking about Larry Sinclair. If you believe him and don't believe the women that Trump were accused of sexual assault, doesn't that make you a hypocrite? 'Cause,
no.
I mean, the guy Sinclair.
Okay. All right. Listen. All right. Listen for a second. There's a big difference between President Trump and these other guys you're talking about. President Trump. Well, if you would stop talking and listen, if you would stop waiting to talk and listen, you would get my answer. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. President Trump has been a millionaire since birth. You know, when he was 2 years old, he was earning that means this is the waiting to talk problem you have, okay? This is the wait. Did I take the last break, Mike? Do we have another break? Okay, I got to hurry. No, I don't want to. I'm late for the break. I'm trying to communicate with you, but you're not open to listening, okay? President Trump earned $250,000 a year when he was 2 years old through his father's company, okay? He has been wealthy and really had a playboy-like reputation his whole life growing up, hanging out at Studio 54 and such. He doesn't have to sexually assault women. Women were throwing themselves at him. Bill Clinton's fat and ugly, okay? He did terrible things he couldn't get women when he was younger. Donald Trump didn't have that problem. Larry Sinclair and Barack Obama, according to Larry Sinclair, is a closeted homosexual, and he just can't go out and have gay sex. He had to do it on the down low, okay? So there's a big difference. Because you can't be openly gay and have gay sex and be president of the United States in 2008. Because the American people would not elect you. Well, who's been elected that's been openly gay?
Obama, you just said it.
No, I said openly gay.
That's what I don't understand. Y'all level.
Okay, listen, I'd love to talk to you longer, but I got to take a break. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
You know, defamation is not the same as assault. I'm answering some DMs, guys.
cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Yes, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by, and we'll get back to the calls. By the way, Trump was found guilty of not libel of sexual assault. He was found liable for defamation for comments he made about her accusations, okay? Big difference there. But I'll get back to your calls in just a bit. I just want to have an add-on to the cruise. Oh, let me get Ian's number. Make sure I got Ian's number. You know, our 5th annual cruise is coming up, April 27th, and this ship is the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines, okay? You hear the commercial, we're going to the ABC Islands. This is the cruise. We were going to go to these destinations a couple of cruises ago, and then they shut down the cruise industry for a year. Remember that? So we didn't get to take that. It wasn't on this ship. It was another ship. We were going to go to these same islands, but now we're going on the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines, which is a luxury cruise line, which is really mainly adults. The kids on board, you could count on one hand. You know, and I kind of enjoy that. I love my kid, but I really don't want to be annoyed by other people's young children. When I'm on a cruise, I like to relax. You understand what I mean? I know a lot of you are that way. But this ship is filling up. In particular, certain cabin sizes and classes are filling up. And I mentioned this yesterday. Ian and I from Cruise and Travel Depot were talking a few days ago, and we're actually talking about getting to the point where we may have to have a waiting list for people on this cruise. It's our largest group yet. It's a great manga group. You'll have a great time. And we're not at the waiting list phase yet, but we actually may get to that point. And what I mean by a waiting list is waiting for a cabin to open up. So call Ian, make your reservation so you're locked in, okay? 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Brian, this is relative.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, that last caller was great. I thought that was pretty antic of him to try to just deflect the whole situation. That whole charge of rape case in New York had to go through some kind of legal counsel that was like made special for people to come and make claims that was open for like a 6-month period that you could come and get outside the statute of limitations. So if that rape case was true, that woman would have yelled it at the top of her lungs years ago, or have gotten paid out by Trump at some point.
Yeah.
Happened. And that's why they had to go with the defamation case, because they couldn't even prove anything. There was no evidence, just like he said, where's the evidence? There was no evidence of rape. There was only evidence of him claiming that she was lying.
Why do you think that liberal caller didn't want to say that he was black? What was he embarrassed?
Because they're all on the plantation of Democrat Dole.
Ah.
The reason why he doesn't want to say he's black, because he's afraid that automatically rates him as a Democrat loyalist. Which, listen, for years it has been. But I think that you're getting these kind of calls from these kind of people that are just out of the blue and random. It's because they notice that half of their community is going to vote for Trump this time around. And they know they're not going to be able to lay cover for the Democrat deviants on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. And what we're watching now with Trump and Tucker and all of this stuff is just, this is rebel rousing to try to stop them from indicting Trump and actually going through with the D.C. case or whatever case they want to throw a ham sandwich in, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I honestly, I think that's what we're watching, and a lot of these Democrats that are just lashing out at the system because they're so used to getting their way with victimhood and whatever else. All this time of what we've been watching under Trump in general has been an awakening and a movement that they don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. All right, Vincent Wellington, good call. Thanks so much. All right, take care. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff, what's up?
Hey, you know, your color of skin really doesn't matter. We are Americans, first and foremost, and we need to take the country back. We the people, and the first place to start is re-electing Donald Trump. And I don't care what color your skin is, if you don't see that, you're the problem in America. And like the last caller said, that last guy is just on the Democrat plantation for decades, brainwashed.
Yeah, you know, one thing I'd like to see President Trump add to his platform is repealing any aspect of the Patriot Act. You know, the Patriot Act is being used against MAGA. Look what happened. This story with Liberty Safe, right, this week. That's the Patriot Act. The spying on Trump Tower, that's the Patriot Act. You know, the FISA courts. The Patriot Act has been weaponized. It was supposed to be for Islamic terrorism after 9/11, and now they're using all of it against conservatives in this country.
That's when I first realized how bad that second Bush was. You know, that was about spying on Americans.
That's right.
Who you are.
That's right. That's right.
Aimed that, but you know, when the day that Trump is reelected, he's going to close that border and stop that crap that's going on at the border. And that's the first thing. If a country without borders is not going to be a country very long.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. That's true. Well, if you listen, if it's what President Trump says. If you have no border, you don't have a country. Countries are made by borders. If there's no border, there's no country.
And I think the second thing he'll do, Brian, is build back our military immediately and make it number one again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, everything that he does is for the betterment of our country. What we're seeing is the destruction of America with everything Biden has tried to do since he's been in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Vice President, I don't think Kristi Noem is well known enough. She comes from a small state. She doesn't have any international experience. I think it needs to be someone from Texas, Pennsylvania, a battleground that we need to win. Do you agree with that?
Well, Texas is important. I mean, yeah. So, you know, and Greg Abbott's doing such good work. You know, Greg Abbott won against the federal judge to keep his buoys in the Rio Grande. So that, you know, so I like Greg Abbott too, and Texas is important. Without Texas, we're done. Texas is saving America right now. If the Democrats turn Texas blue, it's over.
That's right. Texas is very important. That's why I said Texas first. But we need Pennsylvania. That's another.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm up against the break, Jeff, but thanks for the call. All right, take care. We'll talk again. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll break for the top of the hour and be back after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK.
Oh, great calls today. I must say, great calls today. Mm-hmm. Wow. So I'm going to, yeah, you may have caught my live stream on the way in this morning. I'm going to live stream sometime today after the show, but I've got some meetings, so I'm not sure when. I don't know if it'll be right after or later in the day, but make sure you click the notification bell and you'll get a notification when I put the live stream up this afternoon. Or maybe later this morning. I don't know. I'm going to try this morning, but I got a lot going on today. I've got a meeting very far away, so I'm gonna see if I can stream while I'm on the way to that meeting, but it might be after. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Is there anyone in the chat that has a Liberty safe? I'm curious. Do you have a Liberty safe? And if you do, what are you going to do? We'll talk about Peter Navarro maybe later. If I don't get to Peter Navarro today, I will over the weekend on one of my streams over the weekend. I'll try to get to Peter Navarro today during the show. Yeah, I'm a little tired. Our cat Luna, our stray cat, is in heat, and she has been up all night, though. I don't know, it's 3 or 4 nights. It's keeping my wife and I up like you wouldn't believe. It's just non-stop. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he was convicted. Yeah. Oh. And I got a long day today.
This Saturday, get ready for
I am going to, well, I was getting her spayed, but my wife had to have surgery last Friday, if you guys remember. And she's having a rough recovery. And I couldn't have the cat and Kathy having surgery and being in recovery at the same time. It's too much. So I've never had a cat that wasn't spayed before because she was a stray. And she was a little feral when we first got her. I should have got her spayed right then and there. I got an appointment for her next week. Really? I have an appointment Thursday or Friday next week. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. You know, it really is. Mm-hmm. Oh, great. All right, guys. We are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. Stand by. It is Open MAGA Mic Friday. Open phones on Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game. On Friday's show, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. And we've been talking about quite a few things this morning, but I'll take some calls before I get into some new stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, hey, Doug.
You've mentioned this before, that our schools are indoctrination centers for liberalism. And most people agree with that, but you don't really know how bad it is until you experience it firsthand. My daughter just starts college, and you have to take electives. I always said electives are something you take on your own because you're paying for it anyway. And some of the electives you have to take is called global humanity, which is number 1, climate change, World Economic Forum. You have to, you can take the New World Order. So they're brainwashing kids, and you have to take it. So I called up the school complaining, and they say it's just classes. They're not indoctrinated. They have some excuse to tell them. Then my other daughter in 11th grade gets an assignment. She has to discuss global warming and has to have documentation from internet sources, which you have both interests on both sides. But there's hardly anything on the internet about how global warming is fake. So the program kids in high school, college, I don't know how we're going to fix this with math. Something has to be done.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, I went to college as an adult, which is a little different. By the way, Doug, appreciate that. I got a bad connection with you, so I'm going to let you go, but I'll comment on it. Now, Doug's got a bad phone. That's why I couldn't hear Doug. He was talking about his daughter is going through liberal indoctrination in college. And that's why it's better to go to college as an adult. When I went to college as an adult, and we had all kinds of liberal stuff in there, and I would just write down the answers that the professor wanted as opposed to the right answers. And, you know, I remember there was one, I know, it was pretty crazy. There was one class where they were teaching us about Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. You know, I mean, I couldn't believe the stuff I had to deal with in college. As an adult, you can't be indoctrinated. So kids really shouldn't go to college till they're about 30, really. Yeah. at least for the second half. The first 2 years, it's all the same stuff, right? English, mathematics and stuff the first 2 years. It's when you start your major in the third year that the liberal indoctrination really begins. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
My name is Joshua. I'm calling from New York City.
Hey, Joshua, what's up?
So the first thing about Kristi Noem, I actually think she would be a good choice, but I don't think she'll be Trump's choice.
Okay.
I think Tim Scott actually has a better shot.
Why?
Well, Tim Scott, I think, would be like a good number 2, and I think that Trump really likes the fight. I think that Kristi Noem is just a little bit of like a novelty. That like would the first, you know.
Can you think of anything he's done?
Tim Scott?
Yeah.
No, that's precisely why I think that he would be good.
Because he hasn't done anything?
Pretty much. He doesn't add anything to the ticket, but he also doesn't do any harm, and he's the only one that Trump has been concerned.
No, Tim Scott does a lot of harm every time he talks. There's one thing that he will not do. You know what that is? Nothing. Deceit, but we did know. Tim Scott, there's one thing whenever he's talking he will not say. Do you know what that is? What will Tim Scott not say when he's speaking publicly?
His marital status?
Not his marital status. Oh, is there something up about that? Is he divorced or something? I don't know. Not married?
Wait, a confirmed bachelor. He's never...
A confirmed bachelor? Confirmed bachelor, that's what they used to call closeted gay guys. That's not necessarily true today. No, he won't say Trump's name. He will not say Trump's name. He always says the former president. He won't even say Trump's name, which tells us a lot about, which tells you a lot about him. And I heard him asked if he would pardon Trump if he became president, and he didn't say yes. He said he'll let the system work it out. So no, you can't. He's not loyal. You cannot trust him, Scott. He's fake MAGA.
I do have a question though. I think it was after Jack Smith indictment came out. I was listening to one of the shows. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
There was a show that I was listening to after Jack Smith indictment, and I wanted to go back to the old shows from around the 2020 election. I don't know if you talked about this before. Was there a reason that those got taken down?
I don't know what shows you're talking about.
It looks like October 22nd to January.
No, I didn't. I might have. No, I didn't take any videos down.
Okay, I would love to see those if you still. They're not on.
I don't know. But October? That doesn't make any sense at all. October?
From the end of October to the middle of January, the live streams are just missing.
I may have been. Maybe I was off for a few days.
I do have one more comment. I heard the exchange that you had earlier with the black caller.
Yes.
It reminded me. This is my second time calling. It reminded me of the first time calling. We had almost the exact same conversation. Asking if I was black.
Well, I'm not asking. I know you're black. It's okay.
No, I'm sure you do, because it seems like you've sort of, over the years of your radio career, you've developed this sort of party trick of guessing people's races.
It's not a guess.
Races.
It's not a guess.
And you see, it seems like you're very proud of this party trick. But
it's not a party trick.
It's not appropriate.
Okay, let me tell you. Slow down. Okay, not appropriate. Hold that thought. Let me tell you. I've been on the air for over 30 years. Okay, and there's many reasons why I don't screen calls. You know, we have a board up here, Mike. He could answer the phones and put people on hold. And there's several reasons why when you call in, you just get put on hold. Nobody answers, and then I take you live on the air. Okay, one of the reasons I do that is because by the first syllable that comes out of a caller's mouth, regardless of skin color, I can tell almost everything about that person. It's just a skill set. It's a profile. I'm not talking about racial profiling. It's one of the things. But by the first syllable that comes out of a person's mouth, I can almost tell you everything about their life. It's just something I picked up talking to thousands of people over the years like you. So it's not a parlor trick. It's just true. I can tell if someone works, doesn't work, if they're married, if they're not married, if they're gay, if they're straight, if they're, if they're liberal, if they're Republican, if they're a never Trumper or MAGA. I can tell in almost every caller with the first syllable out of the name.
Here's the thing. I believe you. I think that that's completely accurate, what you're saying. Can you hear me?
Why do you think I asked him about being black?
Why do I think you asked?
Yeah.
I think it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. It does matter. Yeah, why? No. I didn't ask you if it mattered. I said, why do you think I brought up that he was black?
To answer your question, I don't know why you did, but what I do know is that if you have to ask somebody what their race is to determine what you're going to say to them next, that's racist. That's racist.
No, you don't even know. No, you don't even know. No, not at all. Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I did it. I will First of all, slow down, dude. Slow down. First of all, you and I are of the same race. There is one race. It's called the human race, and inside the human. So let me finish. And inside the human race, there are different ethnicities of the human race. Okay, so if you think that there are different races of humans, you're the one with the problem. But here's the thing. No, the reason I didn't have to ask. I knew he was black. Okay. And stop overemphasizing ask, okay? You're not the only black guy that doesn't say axe. You're not the only black guy that doesn't say axe. You keep saying ask, and every time you say it, you overemphasize it to point out that you're saying ask and not axe, okay? Just enough of that, okay? The reason that I pointed out that he is black is because of his bizarre defense of Barack Obama over the gay sex allegations.
Weirdly racist.
I'm not racist at all.
Then I realized that you definitely are. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but what you just said was so crazy.
I would have brought it up with you. I mean, like with you, the reason that you want Tim Scott to be vice president is because you have a bond, because you're both African American, you have a connection to him, and that's why you want this guy that won't even say Trump's name or won't even pardon Trump to be vice president.
Why would I care? I'll never vote for Trump. What difference would it make to me?
You'll never vote for Trump. See, there you go. Yeah. And so, and far as being raised, I don't like to do this because most people in the audience know, but my daughter is black. Why would a white racist have only one child? I have a black child.
That's a great question. I think you should explain it to her.
Well, no. Explain how you've called me a racist several times, which is stupid beyond imagination. Explain to me why a racist, if you think I'm one, would have a black child.
I have no idea why you do anything.
Well, maybe it's because I'm not a racist.
If that's what helps you sleep at night, knock yourself out. But I do have to repeat.
No. Logically explain. See, I'm late for the break. Every time we get these liberal callers, we're late for our breaks. But explain to me logically what kind of racist would have a black child. And by the way, I only have one child, okay? And I'll have no more. So my entire family line for the rest of time will be African American. All right? So I have made a decision in my life. I'm a black parent. So logically explain what kind of racist would make a decision that their entire family line for the rest of history will be African American. What kind of racist would do that?
How did I know you were going to bring up your daughter?
Yeah, well, you've avoided everything. See, you use race as a weapon. When you're talking to your liberal white friends and you call them a racist, they fall down on the floor, they get in a fetal position, and they beg for forgiveness. See, I'm not a racist. And I'm secure in that fact. You're just using it to try to shut me up. This is how you deal with opposition from Caucasian people.
You were going to bring up your daughter. How do I know that?
It doesn't matter if you knew or not. I think when you call someone a racist and they have a black family, that just doesn't make sense. That would be like calling Ivanka Trump an anti-Semite. Her husband's a Jew. It makes no sense.
And an analogy is completely pointless. We're talking about...
No, it's not pointless. See, you cannot have a debate. You're incapable of debate because you're from this losing liberal position. So what you do to try to win a debate is against white people is you call them a racist. Most white people would have ended this call or apologized to you or asked you for forgiveness or something, but you are not capable of logical debate.
Any forgiveness. You don't have to ask me for forgiveness.
Forgiveness for what? See, he's trying to get it from me. See, he's still trying to get it.
I'm trying to get it by saying...
I mean, don't you realize how stupid it sounds to call someone with a black family a racist? It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense.
I think it was stupid for you to have a black child since you're clearly racist, but, you know.
Give me an example. Give me an example of my racism.
I'll give you two more. The second ones I gave before. The first was when you have a caller who calls in, says anything, and you say, you're black, right? I can tell from your voice. Aren't you black? Why aren't you proud of being black?
That's not, in fact, that's not how that call went at all. He didn't want to say that he was black, and I asked him why he is embarrassed of it, why he will not say it.
I can watch it later because unlike...
I don't have to go back and watch it. I lived through it.
Unlike your 2020 election show...
I haven't pulled anything off.
Sure you haven't. I think you should go back and look to see what your live streams are missing between the end of...
You want me to go back in time 3 years? For all I know, I was off for a week. I don't know. No, but notice how you know, see, to me, being a racist is a terrible, god-awful thing. I have seen racism from white people in my life. Here in the state of Florida, I have seen racism. You know, when I had my first job at Publix, this was in 1986. I was a bag boy at Publix in 1986. And when black people would, on Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, and when black people would come into the store, the manager would follow them around to make sure they didn't steal. I mean, I've seen real racism. I've seen things worse than that too, okay? And racism is a serious thing, and it's a terrible thing, and it's one of the not the worst, because there's things, you know, like we got this rapist from the 70s show, and there's murderers out there, but racism is one of the worst things that someone can be. And I think when you call someone something so terrible, so god-awful, and so ugly, you should be able to back it up with some concrete examples. What you're talking about, you're some wokester who, you know, your feelings might be hurt. So if somebody hurts your feelings or makes you feel stupid because you can't support your positions, you call them a racist. Yeah, that's disgraceful.
What conversation you're going to have with them, that's racist, period.
Everything's all right, thank you. Everything's racist to you, huh? I mean, you look through everything, he's got this prism where everything's racist. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt, shingle, clay, and concrete.
And you hear, I mean, oh my goodness. That's really just a sad thing. Sad thing, that caller. Mm. No, racism's a terrible, ugly thing. I mean, I don't think that's something just to lightly call someone, in my view, right? I mean, I just don't. I'm sorry. I think it's serious. Yeah. Very serious. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is sad.
Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. I'm going to apologize to the audience in advance. It's going to be a very short segment. It's my fault. You know, when I have that last caller was a good caller, and when I have a good caller, I'll take the break late. And so I took that last break very, very late. This break I got to take on time, or we'll have like a traffic jam till 9 o'clock. So this is going to be a very short segment. It's my fault. But I don't like to hold callers over, because if you're in the middle of a heated discussion and you put someone on hold, it's anticlimactic, and the guy, they cool off. It's just, I just don't do that. So my apologies for the short segment in advance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, so I know it's going to be fast. 1976, I was a beggar for Publix. For almost 6 years, I worked for Sears and Roebuck. And I drove a bus for 32 and a half years. I also worked for a tool and die company up in Connecticut. Those things you didn't know about me, so I was in the private sector for like 7 years of my life. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick up for Brian for the first time in a long time. And he doesn't need anyone to fight for him. But the fact of the matter is, you can tell. I drove a bus for 32 and a half years. You can tell when there's a black caller on the line. But Brian doesn't do it because he knows he's black already. He does it because blacks in this country for many years have been on a Democratic plantation and have been brainwashed by Democrats. So he's trying to expose the fact. Thank God some of you guys out there are starting to break away and realizing what's going on in this country. Barack Obama made victims out of your whole race. Before Obama got in there, racism in this country was really going fast away.
Yes, here's a
But
Roebuck.
he brought it all back. He made you all a victim. And I hope you're wised up now. And this guy that called up before, Brian's not a racist. Trust me, he is not a racist.
Well, I don't want to interrupt all the compliments and all, but to me, calling someone a racist is a pretty serious thing. And you don't hear me do that very often. It's very rare that you'll hear me do that, because it's very serious. When I first moved to Florida, it was 1982, and I lived in Okeechobee. Black people were not allowed on the streets at night by the local people. I was a kid, and it wasn't illegal by the law, but black people knew if they went out at night after dark on the streets of Okeechobee in 1982, well, it wouldn't turn out too well because of those racist Democrats that were there at the time. And you've spent time, you've been around, you've seen real racism, and what passes as racism today from people like that is just their feelings are hurt. That's not racism, and I don't appreciate when people use words like that as a weapon or a shield to try to win an argument.
No, yeah, trying to shut you down. That's their way of saying, I can't beat you in an argument, so I'll call you racist. That's the bottom line. It's trying to shut the guy down, the white person down, make him feel like, there's no way to go after that. And the matter is, I have seen racism. Let me just, before I forget, the first caller in the first hour, the reason I pointed out that he was black wasn't so much about his defense of Obama. He was supporting the weaponization and the political purposes that our justice system is being used for against Trump. And what I was
if you go back, what I was talking to him about was, as a black man in America, you should not be in support of the weaponization of the legal system for political purposes. That was done by Democrats during the Jim Crow era, and it's being done by Democrats today during the MAGA era. All right, Rich, I give you the last word. I'm late for the bottom of the hour break, which I wasn't going to be.
Real quick, you're right about Kristi Noem. I believe I see all these commercials that are going on lately about her bringing jobs into. I think that all comes into it. Surprised when I saw your click. I called because I thought the decision was made already. But I think you're right on the dime. She'd be great.
All right, take care. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Like how he tried to cover, not Richie, the last caller. Like how he tried to cover himself up as, you know, Trump supporter, MAGA.
I know. I didn't even get into that. He was like fake MAGA. I know.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, I'm going to vote for Trump, and you know, he just wanted to bring up Tim Scott so he could bring up racism.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Well, thank you, David.
We also have.
All right, we're halfway through the show. The show is flying by. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Well, welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Oh my goodness, guys. Hopefully I'll get some sleep this weekend. It's not going to be Carrie Lake. No, I don't want to put the cat in our garage. I don't want her to even... She's still getting used to the house. She doesn't even know the garage exists yet. Mm-hmm. Exactly. No, no, no.
Station West Array, an hormone replacement pellet. Therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel your you'll have more energy, increase your sexual drive, and your hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first
Exactly. I don't want her to know the garage exists. She's just getting used to the house. She goes in the garage, she'll get lost in there. She'll be exploring in there for weeks. I want her to be a total inside cat. No garage, nothing. I've got an appointment to do it, but not yet. I can't wait. She's been keeping us up all week. There we go.
Celebrating 46 years.
All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, of course, it is Friday. That means open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have in your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Karen from Ohio.
Hey, Karen.
Hi, how you doing today?
All right, all right.
Okay. First, I think you're a fabulous person. Just let you know that.
Well, thank you.
Got a little bit of a delay here.
No. When someone's complimenting, we don't get a lot of compliments in this business, right? So when you get compliments, I just sit back and let you, like Richie, you just let it flow. Don't want to interrupt the compliments.
I know, but just letting you know, wanted to check in on like your wife with her surgery and everything. How's she doing?
Okay. Well, my wife, she had surgery last Friday. She's having a rough recovery. They let her out of the hospital too early. They should have kept her in for like 4 or 5 days. She's had a rough recovery, so she's still recovering.
Yeah, when I had surgery, they wanted me to go. And they told me I could go to rehab, and it was like, I am not going to rehab.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of COVID, and I'm
Yeah.
going to rehab and reinfecting.
Yeah, going to the hospital is, even before COVID, I rarely visit people when they're in the hospital, okay? And the reason I don't visit people in the hospital is that's where all the sick people go, and you go to the hospital, you got a good chance of getting sick when you go to the hospital. Mm-hmm.
Yep. But on the lines of getting your cat fixed, if your wife's at home,
yeah,
it would be a really good idea to get your cat fixed while she's at home.
Maybe.
Cat don't be around for 2 days.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. My cat. I'm a little tired today. My cat is in heat, and she's up all night, and it's never ending. And the reason I've got an appointment next week, we're going to get her fixed, but I put it off because my wife was having surgery, and I thought it would be too much to have my wife and my cat both recovering from surgery, and then I have to take her to the vet and all that. So I put it off, and my wife and I have not slept for like the last 3 or 4 nights. I've lost track of the days and the nights, and it's just it's awful.
Well, hopefully her heat only lasts like a week, but get her fixed as soon as possible.
Oh, please. You're telling me. You're telling me. And when I leave the house, every time I go out of my front door, I open my door up a crack and I stick my foot and leg out because there's the tomcats are coming to the house because they're hearing them. Rah, rah. So I want to make sure that none of them make it into the house. It's crazy. I'm not. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding.
No, I completely understand. Been through it. Done.
Exactly. All right. Take care. Thanks for the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Gary from Coral Springs.
Hey, Gary in Coral Springs. What's up?
I listened to the Adam Carolla interview with Tucker Carlson, and you said that something was.
You got to speak up a little bit. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Can you speak up? Can you speak up a little bit? I can hardly hear you.
Yeah, I listened to the Tucker Carlson interview with Adam Carolla.
Mm-hmm.
You said that something was said that you wouldn't mention on the air. I'm not going to say what they said out of respect to you and your show. It's not even important to my call. What is important is that Adam Carolla made the big time, and that's because he's very talented. And you have just as much talent, I think even more. You're like unbelievably talented. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But what Adam Carolla has, I don't think you have, and that's courage.
Uh-huh.
Why is it okay for Adam Carolla to broadcast whatever you were thinking about on his show, but you're afraid to do it?
Okay. That's a good and fair question, okay? And I'll give you the answer. We take calls. I'm going to answer your question in detail, all right? But before I do, for those that listen to this show that take issue with me or Steve or something about this show, our calls are completely screenless, and you can call us out on the carpet on a variety of things anytime you want, and we'll deal with them. Okay. There's a big difference between what happened. Why didn't I talk about this one comment? Tucker Carlson was interviewed about 2 weeks ago on Adam Carolla's program, and I played some sound bites from that interview, but there was one that I did not, and I said it was inappropriate for discussion. So you said Adam Carolla has something I don't have, which is courage, right? No, that is not true. There's a difference between what happened on Adam Carolla's show and what would have happened if I would have discussed it. Tucker Carlson made a passing remark to Adam Carolla, who did not discuss what was said. He was talking. Tucker Carlson said something. Adam Carolla did not even follow up on it. Okay? He went on to something else after Tucker said this thing that I was referencing. For me to bring it up would be to invite a conversation on a topic that is inappropriate to talk about, okay, at all, publicly or privately, and Adam Carolla did not discuss it either. Tucker said it, he didn't comment, and he moved on to something else.
Okay. Well,
so I know that doesn't fit into this thing that I'm now that we got the reality of the situation. What's your response? And don't repeat what you've already said.
I won't repeat what I already said, okay? But didn't Adam Carolla have the ability to edit out what...
No. Oh my gosh. He didn't. Did you not hear what I said? Tucker Carlson said something that is not appropriate for discussion. Adam Carolla did not discuss the comment. It was, excuse me. Tucker Carlson saying the comment is not the same as having a discussion about the topic. Somebody can make a comment, okay, and one of the reasons I didn't discuss it is because of what you're trying to do, Mr. Dishonest. You know, listen, yes, what you're, this is a funny business, okay? You know, when you're involved in the public discussion of politics, news, and information, and everything else. You're going to deny all this, okay, what I'm going to tell you about you in just a moment. But before I tell you about you, which you may not even be self-aware enough to admit to yourself, but I think the audience will agree. But I'll repeat what I said about Adam Carolla and Tucker. First off, if I was a coward, I wouldn't have even referenced it, and nobody would have even thought about it, okay? But second, Tucker Carlson made a comment. It is a comment that is not appropriate or allowed for discussion. Adam Carolla did not have a discussion about the comment. Tucker made it, and then Adam Carolla started talking about something else. One of the reasons that I didn't bring up the comment or discuss it is because of dishonest people like you in the audience. Because it's not that you think I'm a coward, you think I'm stupid. Just like CNN thinks MAGA people are, yeah. And didn't I tell you he wasn't going to admit he was going to deny it? You are trying to get me to say and talk about the thing that I said that's not appropriate. And it's not going to happen.
Out of respect, it wasn't even important.
I know it wasn't. I know. You're such a fan. You love me and the show, and you care so much, and everything else. Oh my goodness.
If I called you and I said it, how would you handle it? Would you dump me? Use the dump button? How?
I don't know. I don't plan any. Do you hear the tone change? Oops, the mic just fell, Mike. I'm going to need your help during the break. The tone change in your voice right now is pretty amazing. Do you hear the venom coming out now? Do you hear the venom coming out right now? We'll do it during the break, Mike. It's okay.
No, I love you. What are you kidding?
I know. You're my biggest fan. Listen, I gotta run, but we'll be right back after this quick break.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hold on.
Dead air.
Yeah. Well, Siegel's online.
Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. All right, and we're going to check. We're having technical problems in the studio today, but that's okay. Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group's on the line. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you two?
Not too good. The microphone just fell off the ceiling, but we're trying to fix it. But that's okay. We'll fix it while you're talking.
Okay. All right. So I'm talking to some specific people today. Those of you out there who you understand that estate planning is important, you may have done it already. It may be a while since you've had it reviewed, and you have every intention of getting it done or getting it updated, but you just haven't gotten around to it for legitimate reasons. So, for example, I have a doctor of mine who's a friend of mine that he came in many years ago.
Let me see. You hold
10
this.
years ago
Let me.
To get his estate planning when his first child was born.
There.
And every time I see him, he's like, I know I need to get in there, Barry. I know it's time because they had another child and they haven't updated anything since then. And he has every intention, he and his wife, of coming in and getting it done. But he's got a busy practice that he's building, raising his family, and he's just got a lot of other things, and he just hasn't gotten around to it. So I know there's a lot of people out there who prioritize taking care of their family, having the peace of mind, making sure everything's organized, not leaving a mess behind. They just haven't gotten around to it. And you know what? It's not that difficult of a process. It's actually pretty straightforward. And so I suggest to anybody that is in that situation where they haven't gotten around to it and they have a lot of things going on, just make the call and get it done. You'll feel a lot.
Absolutely. And remember, it is always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. You can find them online at siegellawgroup.com or call toll-free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk next week. Back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
It sure is. Welcome back. Okay, we got the mic fixed. Oh my goodness. Mike, the board op, and I are both, we're matching today. We got to stop matching. People are going to think we're like a couple, Mike. We don't want that. All right, our number 1-888 go Kane 1 888-465-2631. I am going to give a lot of credit to our liberal callers today. We've heard from several liberal callers, including the last one on the Corolla interview with Tucker. And I'll give them credit. It's partial credit, but the liberal callers today have tried very, very hard to try to catch me in something. And I give them A for effort, but I give them F minuses for honesty. Every single one of them pretends to be something they're not. The one guy pretended to be a MAGA guy. Turns out he hates Trump, right? He was trying to help Trump with Tim Scott. The first guy, you know, and then the last guy is a big fan of... now, I know he's a fan of the show because he listens religiously, but pretending to be a fan of mine and Steve's, it's just bizarre. You know, there's... The thing that's very odd to me about strange people that listen to this program that are liberal, you know, we haven't, you know, these aren't 25-year-old kids in the audience. I mean, these are grown men. These are adult men. And for adult men to behave and react like they do is so, it's always been a strange thing to me that I've never quite been able to understand. But I do enjoy callers trying to challenge us, trying to catch us. That's good. And keep it coming, all right? Good luck. All right, 1-888 go Kane 1 is our number. All right, we got the microphone fixed. What happened is the mic fell out of the microphone arm, and there's a screw that who cares, right? There's a screw that holds the microphone into the microphone arm, and the screw, I think, is just a little too short. It's like, you know what I mean? And as you turn the mic around, it comes unscrewed. So during the show, I am always tightening the screw throughout the show every morning, and today I just didn't tighten it up enough, I guess. I don't know. All right, so we got a lot to cover today. Let me just recap where we started, and then after that, we'll start to get into some new things. First of all, there's a Trump rally tonight, and it's in South Dakota. And this is a very important rally because of all the news that's breaking, right? Peter Navarro was convicted yesterday, the mugshot, all these things that are going on. So to hear President Trump speak is amazing. And here we are, we're in September. It's the first rally of September. And President Trump said in his last rally that October is when the rallies were really going to start up. But there's been a lot of news that's happened since the last time we've heard him speak. So this is a very important rally. Also, it's been reported that Kristi Noem is expected to endorse President Trump, okay? And that's a pretty big thing because, you know, there are not that many loyal Republicans out there. And Kristi Noem was on Newsmax yesterday, and she was asked on Newsmax that if President Trump asked her to be his running mate in 2024, what would she say? And this is Kristi Noem from Newsmax yesterday.
So if you were asked, you would consider it, at least.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would in a heartbeat just because, you know, you respect the position and the person who asks you to do something, and then see if you really believe that you could make a difference. You know, President Trump needs a strong partner if he's going to take back the White House. He's going to need somebody who knows what it's like to run a business, to be an employee, earn a paycheck, but also having a wife, mom, and a grandma isn't bad either. And I think that that kind of perspective would weigh in very well on a lot of policy decisions.
Okay, now a couple questions. I got one big one. That Sarah Palin accent that Kristi Noem has, is that how people in South Dakota talk? I've never known anyone from South Dakota that I know of. I know she's, her family are Norwegian, of Norwegian descent. Is that a Norwegian accent or a South Dakota accent? But here's the other thing, okay? And this is so, so important. We have, in the MAGA movement with President Trump, the most popular political movement in the history of this country. You understand that? There are more people in the MAGA movement than any other political movement in the history of this country. That's why, look at the Republican Party polls right now. Trump at 59, DeSantis in second place at 13, right? We've been talking about that. But one other thing, and what makes our MAGA movement in a little bit of jeopardy is that we don't have a very long bench of people after Trump. And when President Trump wins his second and non-consecutive term, it will be his final term. And President Trump's pick for vice president is the most important vice presidential pick in the history of vice presidential picks, because who he picks will be the nominee in 2028 and will be the second MAGA president. And we thought we had a longer bench than we had, and then people have exposed themselves, like Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, and others have exposed themselves as fake MAGA. We don't have that many people in leadership positions that are nationally known and electable nationally in the MAGA movement. We have the largest movement in history of the country, but we don't have a lot of people at the top that are elected. And if you go back, there are some exceptions to this rule, okay? But typically, there are exceptions. Obama's an exception. President Kennedy is an exception. There's, most presidents come from governors, not Congress. There's a lot of reasons for that. One of the reasons is people in Congress, they have very little experience running anything like a state. When you're a governor, it's like being president of your state in many ways. And also, they're in Congress and they vote on things that are so strange sometimes. Like, remember John Kerry? I was for it before I was against it. And, and they'll have some bill that they're voting, and it might sound like a good bill, but then it's got something crazy in it. And so they've got these voting records they're held accountable for. And if you go back in time to past presidents, of course now Obama was a senator. That was a unique thing. But George W. Bush was the president before him. He was a governor. The president before George W. Bush was Bill Clinton, governor. H.W. Bush was a little different, but he was vice president of the United States, okay? So that was different. But before George H.W. Bush was Ronald Reagan. He was a governor, okay? Before Ronald Reagan was Jimmy Carter. He was a governor. Now, there are exceptions as you go through these things, but most of the presidents throughout history come from governors more so than Congress. So the vice presidential pick isn't so much about pulling in a state. I don't think that's as important as it used to be. They used to pick, at least not with the MAGA movement, they used to pick someone because they could help us with the South, or they could help us with this, like Kennedy picked Johnson because he could help him with the South. I think the country has changed so much that that's not as important. And if we pick someone who's not electable as a president and doesn't have that kind of experience, we're going to be in big trouble after Trump's second term. We're not going to have anyone. And I'm not saying Kristi Noem is the most experienced person, but she's been in Congress and she's been governor, and she's very loyal to President Trump. Based on what we're seeing right now, I haven't seen any disloyalty like we've seen with Ron DeSantis. That's why Ron DeSantis, one of the reasons he was such an attractive candidate for the second MAGA president in 2028, because he's got a successful history as governor of Florida, which is a major state, much more major than South Dakota. But no, I think Kristi Noem's got a lot going for her. She's not the only one on the list. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene's on the list, but she's in Congress, and that's a negative. And I would like to see her stay in Congress, because I think we need her kicking butt there to keep some of these rhinos in line. Okay, I think she does good work there. Greg Abbott, I'm sure, is on the list. But rarely do I talk to MAGA people from Texas that have anything good to say about Greg Abbott. I don't know why, but they live there. They know him better than we do. Like here in Florida, there's a lot of things going on about DeSantis that we know that others don't, that show he's not as great as he tells people he is. There's a lot of problems. We hear us talk. He had a major defeat against Disney yesterday, Ron DeSantis. Disney beat Ron DeSantis again yesterday. I might get into that later. If not, maybe another time. The algae problem, the insurance problem. There's a lot of things going on in Florida. The high rent, there's a big homeless problem with working people that are living in Escalades, but they can't afford rent. A lot of problems in Florida. Greg Abbott is not that popular in his own state among MAGA Republicans, and that's a negative. Kristi Noem in the MAGA movement is loved. She's loved. She's a governor. She's loyal. And she's got out of the people we've talked about, she's the most attractive, and I don't mean just physically. Obviously, she's good looking, but I don't mean, when I say attractive, I don't mean physically. Out of all of the people on our short list to be vice president, I think she's the most likely to be elected president in 2028, and that's important. Now, we're going to break for the top of the hour, but before we do, I want to talk to you about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, and his laser wave pain treatment. Today's Friday. He's open, of course, but Dr. Appleton is also open on Saturdays, and on Saturdays, walk-ins are welcome and appointments are not needed either, even on Saturdays, okay? So if you're suffering, go see him today, but if you can't, go in tomorrow. Dr. Appleton's laser wave pain treatment works. It's worked on me 5 times, 5 different types of pain in different parts of my body. And it works on so many different types of pain. Strains and sprains, knee conditions, tinnitus, sciatica, herniated disc, rotary tears. If you're suffering from pain, that's just a couple. I mean, I got a long list here. Some of them I can't even pronounce. I'm serious. And with the laser wave pain treatment, there's no injections, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. It's completely painless. You can find Dr. Appleton online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. He'll text you directions to your cell phone to his office if you need them too, okay? 954-973-0710. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll break for the top of the hour, come back with more calls, and I got a lot more to get into as well. Don't go anywhere.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK.
So I'm answering some of my messages, guys. Yep. Oh my goodness, guys. Less than an hour to go. Great calls today. All right, the third hour has begun. I'm Brian Steve Kane. Joining us, callers on hold, stand by. Busy show today, Steve. Oh. Well, we've had some very nasty callers, which is always good, trying to catch me on things.
Just ask a quick question on the rally this afternoon. Do you know
What time is this? No, it's in the evening.
I got you.
So cancel any evening plans. It's going to be in the evening in South Dakota. And South Dakota, I'm sure, is on Mountain Time, so it'll be, so whatever time it is, you got to, add an hour. But they're always vague on the times to keep you watching all night, which drives me nuts. But,
I feel something's getting ready to pop.
Well, they're reporting Kristi Noem is expected to endorse him, which is a pretty big deal for her to endorse him tonight, because so many of these rhinos are running against him and tearing him down and not standing by him. So it'll be nice to see Kristi Noem do that. All right. You don't seem excited about Kristi Noem, though. I'm not sure. Appreciate the commentary. Yeah, well, we've got 53 minutes until the end of the show, so we can't wait for that, or we'll be in trouble. But if you'd like to call in, it is open phones today, by the way. Open MAGA Mike Friday. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello there, Mr. Brian, and hello there, Steve.
Good morning.
Good day.
Good morning to you. Hey, I got something to ask you, Brian. I know you really like Donald Trump so bad, and you're a follower of Donald Trump and all that good stuff. But I gotta ask you something. I heard an interview with Carlson, Tucker,
mm-hmm.
And they were saying that the next thing that they could do to get him.
Yeah. No. See what we're getting today? Oh my goodness. It's Steve. Is it a full moon this morning? I don't know. I just don't know. We got to wait for the delay to build back up at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I don't know what's going on today with our callers, Steve. It's either full moon or Budweiser is giving away the Bud Light, and these guys are taking it and drinking it, because we've heard from some strange people today with strange stuff. I'll tell you, there's the last caller does not fit into that category, okay? Because the last guy's not one of these liberal guys. He's just doesn't have his mind and wits about him, the last caller. But if you notice, there's been a bunch of liberal callers today, and they're all trying to jam me up, not in debate. They're trying to get me in trouble in their minds. And, they're trying to do cancel culture, which will not work, okay? Because we're together and smart and don't fall for these stupid traps that so many people fall into. But the liberals, you would think they would be happy. Everything they've dreamed of is happening. Trump's been arrested 4 times. They got the mugshot. DeSantis has jumped ship. You would think liberals would be. I remember, okay, when Obama got elected the first time in 2008, we had 6 months of liberals calling, just laughing at us that we lost and Barack Obama won. I remember that. It was like 6 months of that. And the liberals today, they don't seem happy, right? So they got the 4 arrests, they got the mugshot. Peter Navarro got convicted yesterday.
There's a sense of impending doom.
Yeah, yeah. And E. Jean Carroll's got this libel defamation victory, and there's more coming, okay?
The name that's circulating, the new name today in my New York Post is Mario Cuomo.
Oh my goodness, they brought him back from the dead, Steve. I thought he died a long time ago. The other Governor Cuomo? Fredo or Fredo's brother? Andrew Cuomo. Fredo's brother. Fredo's the young one. Yeah, the weaker brother is Fredo. Steve, yesterday, okay, they had this BS poll that came out on CNN yesterday. I talked about it on yesterday's show. The poll was such a joke, okay? It was a nationwide head-to-head poll between Biden and every one of the Republicans running for the nomination. And the one with the greatest lead was Nikki Haley. Trump, in the CNN poll, head-to-head, Trump only had a 1-point lead of Biden, which is in the margin of error. Nikki Haley, 6. Chris Christie had a bigger lead against Biden than Trump in the CNN poll. The poll was not even the results were so out of the ability to even accept as credible. But CNN ran with this poll all day, and CNN yesterday, what CNN did yesterday was amazing. They were attacking Biden all day. They had James Carville attacking Biden using the poll. They had Van Jones attacking Biden. They had Dana Bash attacking Biden. And the whole theme was he's not reelectable, Biden. For CNN to spend an entire day saying that the sitting Democrat president needs to step aside and is not electable is a historic day for CNN. That's very unusual. And I'm confused as to what their game plan is. If they pass over the sitting president, there's no chance that the Democrats could win. It's like impossible.
If they show they're going to choose the sitting president, they're not going to win.
No, they're not going to win with that either, but it's less probable to win. If they skip over Biden and give it to Cuomo, for example, okay? Andrew Cuomo. Well, that's the problem. They're actually, everything they're talking about is skipping over the president and the sitting vice president. That's a loss. That's a total loss. So this is what I'm getting, and I'll throw this out. We're coming up to the break, and we'll try to recover the program after Augustino and these strange... This is what happened. This is why we don't do open phones every day. Okay? You hear this, it's like Halloween here. It's not even October yet with these callers. If we did open phones every day, and you remember what Rush used to say, this is the day we let rank amateurs take over the program and the content. When you let rank amateurs take over the program, like we do every Friday, it's very risky. And today is one of those days where you can see the quality because the callers are so out of whack and weird and doing weird things with what they're bringing up. You know, that's the risk of having open phones. But that's why we don't do it every day, because then every day would be like this, and then next thing you know, we'd be like the Kaufman show, and that you don't want that. But this is what I think is going on. The Democrats and the deep state, since CNN was all day yesterday against Biden, Biden has done something. I don't know what, but Biden has done something to totally alienate the left, the Democrat establishment, and the deep state, and they've turned on him. And it's something bigger than that. It's something bigger than that. There's something else. Yeah.
Biden can't win it.
They're letting these investigations are being allowed to happen by the Democrat Party establishment and the deep state. He did something. What it is, I don't know, but he's got the Democrat establishment, the liberal fake news media, and the deep state wanting him out, and whatever it is so bad, they're willing to give up the White House in the next election. They want Biden out so bad that they have accepted the loss in 2024 to the Republicans. Steve, when have you ever seen CNN in an election season go after the sitting Democrat president? It is unheard of, and you cannot pass over Kamala. She's the first female and minority vice president. You're passing over the sitting president and a female minority vice president. There's no way to win from that. They could not win no matter who they put up. So they have accepted that they're going to lose. Now, if one of these other Republicans win other than Trump, it's this, they're happy with that because they control these jerks. But something's in play here. So we're going to take our break, first break of the final hour of today's show. I'm going to give out the number at 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. And what I want to ask you guys is, do you agree or disagree with me that it looks like the left, the media, the deep state, and the Democrat establishment have accepted that they're going to lose in 2024, and that Biden has done something that has totally alienated them, and I don't think it's anything that we know about. There's something behind the scenes that's going on that we don't know. Well, tell us after the break. All right, we'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, it's Kate from Will Floor You. Our new Jupiter showroom is now up and running and filled with awesome flooring products like comfy carpeting, waterproof luxury vinyl, and engineered wood planks. From Kerastan, America's premier flooring brand. We've expanded our selection of Kerastan products in both our Jupiter and Stuart showroom. Kerastan is not only the most stylish, it's the most practical. From wet protection technology on luxury vinyl and wood featuring forever clean finish on trend-setting carpets and all pet protection. Warranties for your busy households like yours and mine. And to celebrate our Kerastan's expansion and new store location in Jupiter, they are all on sale at your lowest prices ever. You'll be floored at the savings during this special event. I invite you to visit us in Jupiter in the shops of Jonathan's Landing next to Publix, in Stewart on Federal Highway just south of Walmart, and Will Floor, the letter U, FLA.com. Will Floor You, your hometown flooring store that has it all for over 40 years.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Are you looking for a night of theater that will leave you entertained and inspired? Then head to the Boca Black Box Theater. We offer a variety of productions, comedies, dramas, musicals, and our intimate setting of sure. This season, we're presenting the Motowners Thursday, December 28th and Friday, December 29th. Chris McDonald's Memories of Elvis, Sunday, November 5th, and Power of Love, a tribute to Huey Lewis and the News, Thursday, November 30th. Tickets are on sale now, so don't miss out on the excitement. Visit BocaBlackBox.com and join our mailing list for exclusive savings. The Boca Black Box Theater, where exceptional theater comes to life and unforgettable moments of wait.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show. with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FM.
All right, Steve, there's only one opening on the board. Hopefully the quality of the callers on hold is higher than what we've had over the past hour. Yes.
You say, nobody knows what's going on. I would say it's become crystal clear what's going on. That's the major story of the day. And it's captured in one line representing the lead editorial in today's New York Post. Wakes up. And that's what's happened. A sufficient number of the American people have woke up to the fact that Biden cannot win an election. It's got to be dealt with.
So why would, okay, I agree with you but on that he can't win, but why would the Democrats make it worse and lose even worse by passing him and the vice president over and putting in another person?
I think they realize it's one of those stories, before you can stop, you've got to...
Okay.
You've got to come to a stop before you can...
Yeah, I know. Well, every line on the board is lit. Our number is 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Let me see if I can try to figure out in the order in which they were... I can't figure out in the order in which they were received. Sorry, guys. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Detroit.
Oh, hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Two Brians. Listen, whatever they got on this guy, it's really big. When we saw all this parade, I saw the parade on CNN yesterday with Van Jones.
Oh, Van Jones was unbelievable.
Oh, my God. It was like
Tell everybody about it who didn't see it.
It's just an absolute disgrace. Now,
He said, Van Jones said, to summarize, because he was on all day, Van Jones said he's too old, senile, feeble, and far gone mentally to be president of anything. So Van Jones was hardcore pushing to get him to drop out.
That fully covers half of it.
Yeah.
The other thing
but we've been saying this for the last 3 years with this guy.
But the Democrats always...
See the lies they've been spitting out the whole time?
But for Democrats,
you're dealing with Democrats.
They always stick together.
I know, it's like
reality like other people.
But they're not sticking together this time. This is unusual.
You know what? They'll eat their young too. They'll eat their young if they think it's going to hurt them. Whatever it is, it's a bigger scandal than.
Good.
It's something big. I tell you, I think it's. I don't think it's audio. I think it's video. Now, again, does this tie in?
Oh, wait, slow down. You think that there is some kind of video of Joe Biden doing something that has them dumping him? Like what?
Yes. It's something that would make a huge impact on the electorate, and I don't think it's an audio. I think it's a video.
Gun. There's a smoking gun out there that's about...
Like a video of him taking bribes?
Something of...
Taking... 17 videos. Guys running around the world doing all these deals. You think nobody's filming this?
Okay, that's a good guess.
And the other thing is, did you see this? This is the most disgraceful. Did you see the mayor in New York prancing around the city doing all these things about the problems in New York, like he has nothing to do with it?
Well, let's get back to Biden before we get into Adams, because I don't really want to. We got a full board here on this. But the thing about Biden, this is an interesting thing. Okay. Comer and Marjorie Taylor Greene have been doing a major investigation into Joe Biden. And about 2 weeks ago, Greg Kelly on Newsmax said that his sources told him that there's a tape of Biden that he didn't know the contents of it, but was told by credible sources. And remember, Greg Kelly's friends with President Trump and Giuliani, so he's got inside sources through his father. He said it will bring down Joe Biden. And he was talking about resignation. So okay, you're right. Okay, so what's going on on CNN yesterday, which was historic, I've never seen this before, is they're trying to get him out before the tape comes out, or maybe they're setting it up for them to distance themselves before the tape comes out, is what you're saying, right?
Well, absolutely, but I mean, they look terrible out there, just trying to disconnect from the.
Even James Carville was and James Carville's barely coherent himself these days, and he was talking about Biden's got to get out. Yeah, it was Dana Bash. She started her broadcast yesterday. Dana Bash, who's by the way CIA, for those that don't know, her husband that she got the Bash name for is one of the deputy directors of the CIA. She started her broadcast yesterday, Dana Bash, by saying, you can't spin this. The American people don't support Joe Biden anymore. She said, that's how she started.
Isn't that great? Can I make one quick comment about Greg Kelly?
Yeah, of course.
He's been rumoring that he may be making a run for New York for the mayor. We need him at that 9 o'clock hour. Solid MAGA guy. The news out. Greg
Kelly from Newsmax, is he that popular in New York to run for? I don't. He would have to leave Newsmax to run for mayor. No, that's a bad idea. He's no.
He left to go challenge Schumer, and he ran into the Schumer machine, and he got wiped out.
A lot. Oh. Let me tell you what happens, okay? Like, I'm looking at a full board of calls, and the lines are ringing even beyond the number of... I can see how many... We're getting calls that can't even ring through. We don't have enough phone lines for all the calls to come through, and I can see that, right? And what happens to a lot of... Yeah, I know, and we're cool about that, but a lot of people in this kind of business, they get egos over that, and they think they're popular everywhere. And then they leave to run for office, and then they lose. They run for the Senate in Arizona against John McCain, and then they're has-beens. Yeah, so yeah.
Machines, the Democratic machines.
It cannot be, yeah, yes. All right, take care, man. Good to hear from you. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, boy. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Vicki.
Hey, Vicki.
Okay. There's a few things about Joe Biden. Okay. Bill Biden was DA when this Sinclair story first broke on the bomb.
DA? Oh, Bo Biden. Yes. District attorney. He was the attorney general. No. Joe Biden's son was the attorney general of Delaware.
Yes, and Sinclair was arrested.
By Bo Biden.
By Bo Biden.
That's correct.
Okay. So, Joe Biden had the goods on Obama.
Correct.
His VP.
Yeah, in fact, Larry Sinclair, we talked about this a couple days ago. Larry Sinclair had his press conference at the press club talking about his love affair, the 2 times he had sex and did cocaine with Obama. At the end of the press conference... All right. Well, anyway, at the end of the press conference, the D.C. police arrested him at the press conference at the D.C. Press Club. It was on an out-of-state warrant from Delaware on larceny charges. And Joe Biden, his son was the Attorney General of Delaware, where the arrest warrant originated. So what I haven't been able to put together, because I haven't been able to get the exact timeline together on this, did Obama choose his running mate as Joe Biden before or after that?
After.
I think so too, but I've not been able to confirm it. But even if it was after, before, Joe Biden was blackmailing, and maybe Obama for years, and that's when he made all his money.
Maybe, yeah, and so Obama was probably getting a little bit of the skip of the 10% with.
I don't know.
Ukraine.
I don't know about that. He's got other ways to make. All right, listen. Thanks for the call. Good points. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
Oh my goodness. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, better take the mic off. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're early today. Oh, these callers. Hey, guys.
Properties.
Oh, my goodness. It's one of those days, guys.
I took it took 3 hours to go down there. Took my 90-year-old mom. My mom walked straighter than she ever walked in her life. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such a willing vessel to talk about Dr. Appleton.
That's amazing. So you heard me in Orlando talking about Dr. Appleton and drove to South Florida with your mother to see him.
Yes, my mom is awesome now. Awesome. No more arthritis, no more pills, none of that. She's going back to New York for 24 hours, and I'm telling you, no pain. She gets off that train, and my sister says she walks like a young woman.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Call Dr. Appleton and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
Oh, goodness, guys. It's one of those days. Oh. Well, the show's almost over, but I got a long day ahead of me. Yeah, I like Carrie Lake, but it's not going to be Carrie Lake. If she was the governor, maybe. But even then, she probably wouldn't have enough experience. Kristi Noem has been in government a long time. All right, I'm coming back. Oh, my goodness. Oh. All right.
With Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years of...
All right. There are 2 openings on the board, Steve, at 1-888 Cocaine 1.
I totally differ from what I'm hearing from our audience.
Okay.
And that is in terms of the this thing of Biden has reached the end of the road. I dread that. I mean, I dread the day when Biden is basically eliminated, because Biden is an unwinnable proposition for Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
And when they throw open the door, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody could come in who's viable, but Biden's not viable. That's why I don't know why everyone's so excited that he's dropping out.
Oh, I'm not excited about it, but I just don't think they have any viable alternatives. There's only one Democrat that would, and I'm not saying they would win, but there's one Democrat that would make it a contest, Robert Kennedy Jr. That it would make it a contest. Well, first off, the reason is, first, the Democrats get goo goo gaga every time a Kennedy walks into a room, and a lot of his
Or with this Kennedy.
no, well, because he's kind of not, he's on the outs with the Democrat establishment.
Yeah, he's a black sheep.
I'm not, well, you're talking about the party establishment. I'm talking about as a whole, and a lot of the things that Robert Kennedy Jr. talks about, a lot of conservatives like. So he's the only Democrat that we would have a contest against in this, that I can think of.
He doesn't represent the mainstream of the Democratic Party. I think.
Yeah.
That could be that would be a fatal fight.
Yeah.
It's self-destruct.
I mean, I hate to say, I like Robert Kennedy Jr. He's a Democrat and has a lot of liberal wackadoodle ideas. I would never vote for him, but I like him, you know.
For us, in terms of who the Democratic candidate should be, who we're rooting for, basically the third party is like a win, as I see it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go. Let's see here. Back to our very busy phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air.
Helen from Massachusetts.
Hey, Helen.
Hi, Steve. Good morning. Good morning,
Good morning
Brian.
to you. Cheerful voice.
Oh, thank you. Brian, I'm calling regarding what you think about 2024, that the Democrats have reached the conclusion that they're probably going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been pondering this. It's funny you should mention it, because I've been pondering this since, I think it was last year. But the only thing that bothers me about that is that they would concentrate on, the Democrats would concentrate on gaining power in the House and the Senate, which they could cheat and get away with.
Well, the Senate, no, not at all. They've lost so much black support. They're going to lose House. Remember, the whole House is up every 2 years. They're going to lose House seats that they consider safe because they've lost so many black voters. Our turnout's going to be so massive. And in the Senate, the reason we didn't take back the Senate last time, there weren't that many seats in play. A third's always up, but the seats that were up, a lot of there's some seats up this time in large numbers for the Democrats that are not safe seats. They're going to lose in the Senate. They're going to lose in the House. We're going to gain across the board. Plus, we're going to have Trump, which is a great motivating factor. No, we're gonna have a big gain in seats in the House and some gains in the Senate.
Brian, I hope you're right. I've been praying for this. Another thing that bothers me is it seems that there's actually 2 or 3 things, but I know you've got other callers to talk to. Another thing that bothers me is they're going down hard on Justice Thomas. So I'm wondering if they're trying to get him to leave the Supreme Court.
Yes. Yeah, because Biden is going to appoint the youngest possible transgendered Latina X or whatever they got into that seat. They're trying. All these scandals that they're making up against Clarence Thomas is they're trying to embarrass him into resigning so that Biden can get a pick on the Supreme Court. Because look what we did. We got a Trump court, and we overturned Roe v. Wade. We ended affirmative action, and also a lot of these Trump cases are going to be going to the Supreme Court, and they want Thomas out of there for that too. So no, Clarence Thomas is going to stand strong. He's not going anywhere. You okay, Steve?
Another thing that's been bothering me is the digital coin,
Bitcoin and some.
It is backing it, and I hope this doesn't come to pass, because my guess, and this is just my guess, is that's how they'll stop the American.
Okay. Well, here's the big secret. Okay. Here's the big secret. Okay. Our money has been digital. In the next break, we talked to William Youngerman. Our gold guy. the U.S. Treasury has been all digital for years and years. When they spend money, they just go to a computer and add zeros to it. They don't print up all this money. So it's already been digital. So that's not a big change. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike in North Lauderdale.
Hey, Mike.
Just wondering, all the proof and everything they have against Joe Biden, when is something actually going to happen? I mean, I hear every day, I listen to Hannity, I listen to you guys, I listen to everybody. What, you know, when it's going to happen to them? I don't understand why it's taking so long for something to happen.
Well, a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I'm waiting for the impeachment, but you know, I've been waiting for 2.5 years.
It's going to happen. I think he's going to skate away with it. It's going to be God, and then it's going to be.
He's not. Biden's not going to jail. He's not going to jail because he's a Democrat. Democrats don't go to jail. Only Republicans go to jail.
It's ridiculous. All the proof they have. I mean,
what's the most high? When you're a Democrat, you're like James Bond. You have a license to do any crime you want to do. Look, Alec Baldwin shot a woman dead and then shot another, and he's still out there making movies. If I shot someone dead in the studio, you think I'd still be just walking around free? No.
We don't be in jail right now.
Okay, but Alec Baldwin's a Democrat.
Yeah. I mean, if Trump had all the proof, I mean, you see what they got against Trump. You know, nothing, and look what they've done there.
He's a Republican.
Worse.
He's a Republican.
Yeah.
All right, take care. Thanks for the call. I mean, that's just the reality that we've got to live with. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Al.
Oh, I'm so glad you called now because we're up against the break and we only have seconds. So go ahead.
Well, first of all, Clarence Thomas' charges are for real. You're in another world if you don't think they are. There's nothing on Joe Biden. They know they had nothing on Joe Biden. If his son goes out and robs a bank, it's not Joe Biden's problem. If Alex...
Okay, slow down. He didn't rob banks, Hunter Biden. Okay? He's a money launderer. Okay? He is the car wash, the money laundromat for his father. And you know this.
No, you're a liar.
Well, no. You're saying that Hunter Biden's a liar. This is all detailed on his laptops.
No, it's not. It's a lie.
He said he wrote an email to his sister, right? He wrote him and his sister have a lot of bonds. You know, they're both junkies in and out of rehab. And he wrote an email to his sister, Ashley Biden, that he had to give Pops 50% of his salary.
That's a lie.
So Hunter Biden lied to his sister about giving the money to Joe.
I spoke to a colleague.
He spoke to a colleague. Oh, what, some other loser? All right, we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the morning gold and precious metals report. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Oh, looking good, actually showing some good resistance to going lower below those support levels, $1,900 for gold and $23 for silver, although we did pop a little bit below there on silver. There's strong support in these areas, and we're seeing a lot of buying coming in at these bargain levels. So yesterday we saw gold, as I said, dip below around $1,915, but then closing up $2.90 on the day at $1,919.30. Silver lost 22 cents, just below that $23 number at $22.93 the ounce, while platinum lost $5 at $9.06 and palladium lost $6 at $11.86. Most of those gains have been, or losses were regained this morning with gold up $5.40 right now at $1,924.70 the ounce. Silver up 12 cents at $23.05. Platinum down $6 at $900, and palladium up $6 at $11.92. So the markets are showing. We see this action pretty much all through summer, just dipping down to these support levels and going back up again. And the Steve King listeners are smart enough to take advantage of these. So we're very happy with that.
When people call you up or stop in, what are they buying mostly right now?
Right now, they're mostly buying gold and silver, although we did see some, when platinum got under 900, we saw some people buying, taking advantage of that bargain levels in the 800s. So that's been a good buy. Platinum's 15 times rarer than gold, a very strategic commodity, and we think it's going to show up with short supplies this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and you can tell. Listen, William Youngerman, you can do business with him over the phone no matter where you are in America, the world, or even in town, and you can't make it into his store in Boca. You can buy and sell and do your transactions right over the phone. But if you can stop in, you should. All these metals that we talk about, the different coins, the bars, the gold bars, the silver bars, all these beautiful coins, the old money, this is on display at William Youngerman's. William Youngerman's is really like a museum. It literally is. And if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto, or give him a call, 1-800-327-5010. 800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday.
Folks, is that you did mention our museum. We do have a private museum online, free for anyone, called hometowncurrency.org, which has all of the financial history and the largest collection of financial items from the state of Florida. So
Absolutely, check it out. What's the website again?
Hometowncurrency.org.
Okay, hometowncurrency.org. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Back after this.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. Just one opening where William Youngerman was. You with us, Steve? Yes, sir. Okay, that sneeze just blew your whole sound system out, but you're back now. Before we go back to the calls, I wanted to talk about the resident dentist of the Steve King Show, Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental, who's been with us for many, many years here on the Steve King Show. And, you know, the Steve King Show is the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. And Dr. Gupta's prices, Steve, are like out of the 80s and 90s. His prices are so low, so fair. And he's a top dentist. You know, we have a recorded commercial with Richie the bus driver, and he drives over 140 miles to go see Dr. Gupta. A couple reasons. One, he's a top dentist who does masterful work, and his prices are great. And Steve and I have a little argument about the Dr. Gupta messaging. Steve's, you know, into the painless dentistry, and I believe that the pain people fear from the dentist is not the physical pain. They can give you drugs, and that's different. It's the financial pain of going to the dentist. Well, you're not going to have the financial pain with Dr. Gupta because he has great prices that are affordable, and that's very unusual in that business.
You at ease, that's the thing that you do. My thing about the dentistry, and it certainly applies to me, and I know a lot of other people as well, is the anxiety connected with dental work. A lot of people, you know, they can take all kinds of other types of pain without a big thing, but when it comes to dental work, it's just it's like chalk on a blackboard, you know.
Exactly. Now, Dr. Gupta, he also is a listener to the program, so really it'll be like you're going to a member of the family. He'll know all the weird listeners who call in and know the whole story. So you'll have a bond with him just based on that, because he has such a strong connection to the program. Now, you can give Dr. Gupta a call. His number, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. All right, every line on our board is lit, and phones are still ringing. We have more people calling than we have lines, and we have more lines at this radio station than I've had at any radio station I've ever worked at. I mean, Steve, you haven't been to the new studio here, but you have. When you were at ABC in New York, you didn't have this many phone lines, and everyone is lit. That's no, you didn't. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Uncle Steve with Ivy and Broward. How are you feeling?
Ivy, how you doing this morning?
Awesome, swell. Hey, Brian, do you remember back when Obama got into his first presidency? He was taking his world tour, and he said, "Hey, I'm the first person from Africa to become an American president." Do you remember exactly the verbatim or no?
No. No, I don't remember that at all. I remember him saying, I remember the interview with George Stephanopoulos when he said, people ask me about my Muslim faith. I remember that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was more the open. But my point is this: he made a Freudian slip, just like he called Michelle Michael many times. Michelle Obama referred to Michelle as Michael many times in different interviews. My point is, Democrats. My point is, you must accept the fact that you've been lied to. Okay, I really don't care if he's gay or not. It doesn't matter. I've always thought he was bisexual anyway. So I mean, just listen to his list. But my point is we don't want these type of people who have been deceiving us. Think of the debt that follows people like him and the Clintons. The debt. The guy, his chef drowns. He's a world class swimmer, so to speak, but he drowns paddle boarding. Come on, the guy Sinclair.
Okay, let me slow down. Let me tell you why these things are important. Okay, about the backgrounds of these people that are compromised. Not that long ago, you could not get a security clearance with the federal government. You couldn't get a top secret security clearance if you were gay. Do you know why, caller?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, okay. Go. Well, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking that when they would think they're not trustworthy.
No. You would be open to blackmail. You'd be open to blackmail. Okay. Well, it's being trustworthy is different than blackmail. The reason that homosexuals couldn't get security clearances, because they didn't call them gay then, is because they were open to being blackmailed. I knew someone who was not gay, but was one of those TSA agents, and he was up for a promotion, and they did a security check, and he had too much credit card debt, and they fired him because they said he had so much credit card debt he was open to blackmail. So these things about Obama and Biden that we're talking about mean that they're open to being blackmailed because they have these dark, dark secrets about them. And that's why these things are important.
Excuse me, in reality, the homosexual aspect of whether we're talking about Obama or somebody else is the least of it.
Yeah.
Whether Obama's gay or not, who cares? But it's everything else that bothers me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We understand, but my point is to the black people that are listening. I'm black. My black people, listen. You've been bamboozled. You've been fooled. Accept the fact. The guy that says, "Oh, the whole thing with Sinclair is a lie." Well, Sinclair has proven himself to be true by knowing how Barack speaks. And what he says is vacuous, and he also got arrested by Joe Biden's son. He also knew Jeremiah, a guy that worked in the church that was introduced to him through Barack. This shows that they knew each other. This just not on television wanting fortune. So what I'm saying, want people that are not for America in the presidency. I said he would love to run the presidency from his den and in his underwear. He's doing it, okay? But the point is, they're not for us, the people. Once again, we want someone in power who are for.
All right, IB. Take care. Yeah, that's true. And by the way, Larry Sinclair needs to go see Dr. Gupta. Did you see the interview, Steve? He's missing a lot of teeth. Dr. Gupta could help with that at a bargain price. Yes, I do. What do you mean? Good morning, you're on the air. We interrupted a conversation, but that's cool. Who you talking to?
My husband in the car.
Okay. What's up?
I just wanted to tell you that we are driving to see Dr. Appleton right now. We've been driving since 4 o'clock this morning.
Awesome.
And today's my birthday, so we want.
Happy birthday. Where are you driving from?
Tampa area.
Okay, you're driving from Tampa to Pompano to see Dr. Appleton?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. That's awesome.
know what the outcome is next week.
That's great. Awesome. Awesome. Well, tell Dr. Appleton that Steve and Brian said hello.
Okay, doke.
All right. Take care. Wow. Is that amazing, Steve? Driving from Tampa to see Dr. Appleton. I mean, my goodness, that's amazing. Let me give out Dr. Appleton's number. And, you know, it's always a no-charge consultation. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome. Even on Saturdays. You can show up without an appointment on Saturdays, too. All right? Let me give Dr. Appleton's number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. That is absolutely amazing. Wow. Okay, let's go here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Steve and Brian. It's Juan from Coral Springs.
Hey, Juan.
Hey, good morning. Going back a while, when we were talking about VP candidates for Donald J. Trump, the one that I haven't heard, and Kristi Noem is great, is Kerry Lake from Arizona, who got, you know.
He's not going to pick her to be his running mate.
Why do you say that?
Because she's not the governor right now, and even if she was, she would not have had very much experience. Kristi Noem is the sitting governor. She's been elected many times and has been in government for years and has experience. President Trump understands marketing, and if you were the Democrats running against Trump and Kerry Lake, how would you market your campaign against them?
Against Kerry Lake?
And Trump. No, they're running mates. Kerry Lake and Trump are running mates. You're the Democrats. What would you do to market against them?
What can you do?
Oh my goodness! You can't see out of. I know. No, what they would do is two losers. That would be the whole campaign against them, and they would come up with phrasing that could. It's not going to happen. If she was in the governor's mansion right now, it might happen. But President Trump is very smart when it comes to marketing and messaging. And that's just not going to happen. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. And I'm trying to squeeze people in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, thank you for putting me on hold.
Oh, that was I did not put you on hold because you were on a different line than you were the first time. Why do Democrats got to lie about such things? Good morning. You're on the air. Oh, yes. Well, who are you talking to?
Rocky.
Who are you talking to?
Michael. I thought I was on.
No, you were talking to someone. You know what he said? He said, "Oh, I'm going to be on. I'm going to be." I'm going to be on next. Listen to me. Go ahead, Rocky.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to prove a point right now.
Now, here we go. That you're smarter than me.
Yeah, because something you would never think of. If Trump would think of it, put a special show on TV. It'd be bigger than any debate. It would get the biggest ratings of all time. Get Biden and his associates, Trump and his associates indicted, put them all on. They all do a big lie detector test, polygraph test. They all agree to that, and it would.
Wait, sir. Okay, so put Biden and all the Democrats on TV with the lie detector test. Okay, we're almost out of time. 30 seconds. Get to the part where you're going to show everyone you were smarter than me.
Because I'm the one that thought, and all your other callers. You or none of your callers would ever think of that.
Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, boy. Steve, we're out of time, which is really a blessing, isn't it? Now, the rest of you on hold, stand by. We'll be back live Monday morning at 6 a.m. So if you're on hold and you stay on hold, you'll be first in line Monday morning, all right? Oh, by the way, Al Knight over the weekend on our radio station is giving away all kinds of free stuff over the weekend. Don't miss that. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. Don't forget, Trump rally tonight in South Dakota. And God bless America, and God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. See you Monday.
WWNN Pompano Beach.
All right, guys, I got to